Today we wanted to talk about scaling your investment portfolio.
Now, many people look at scaling as the way to really build wealth. Maybe you start small, you buy the small properties, and then you kind of upscale them every few years or every so often in order for you to build more wealth. This is a basic scaling method many people do. So let's talk about it. So most investors do not just accumulate assets, they strategically will look at their assets, understand what they can scale, what can they put away to get another bigger asset in their column. And of course you want to mitigate risk as much as possible, but you want to make sure that we're scaling in a way that is making more sense for you, so your cycle of investing is increasing and you're not just dealing with stocks, it's real estate and other important investment ways that you do this. So you want to look at scaling and growing your business.
Exactly. And the one of the strategy that many investors, a smart investor, they do is first is diversification. Basically, this is method that basically involves that your investment is going across different various areas and sectors, industries, or geographical location, and help you, as my wife said, to reduce your overall risk.
Right. So an investor might have stocks, they might have bonds, they might put them in different areas. It might be technology, it might be healthcare, it might be energy. And then when it's real estate, it's different types of real estate properties, commercial, residential, and then what types of residential. So you want to diversify as much as possible.
Exactly. The next thing that investor they do really reinvesting return. No, this is another way of rescaling the scaling of return. That could mean that you might have purchased stocks, and then what you do,
the stock gives us dividends, and then the dividends you can then just buy more stocks with.
Exactly.
Now, with this, you want to take the rental payments and where they're making consistent rental payments, and use that money to buy more property. So you're scaling up using the money that you're already getting from this business.
Exactly. Actually, what we wanted to do here
is our direction.
Exactly.
Let's hit it. Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel and podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and get notified.
Also, you can call text all the time, 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Don't be shy. Also, grab our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below. Now let's talk about assessing.
Now, we wanted to consider this thing for assessing your portfolio for scaling.
When you're going to scale, you need to take ownership. You have to be the person in charge of your life. So the first thing we have to do is we have to look at how things are working as you have them right now. You have to look at your performance, be honest with yourself, look at what your investment goals are, and where are you liquid, where are you not liquid, what is your timeline. So the first thing you have to do is look at your statements and say, what am I doing with these statements? So that is what I would say step one is, knowing where you stand at the moment of that you take ownership.
Exactly. The next thing that you must do and you wanted to do is risk management, which is the core of your scaling portfolio, which you're going to find a balance between your reward and your risk. What is you getting and what is the risk for getting those things? And that is really important and vital things for your portfolio and scaling your portfolio.
Now, the next one is what has stopped a lot of people and where a lot of people are actually coming in hard with it too. So timing and market conditions. The days of the 2-point-something interest rates are not here again, and we don't see them anytime in the timeline in the immediate future. There are people buying properties who understand that you can buy now because it's more like a bear market. So you're going to have assets that are at a lower price than you would get them later. So yes, they are prepared for potential short-term losses, stagnation, smaller profits than they would have liked, but they're owning a thing to where they're going to have appreciation factor. When the markets free up, they can have more money in their pocket. So there is reasons that people acquire no matter what is going on in the market.
Which brings us to the next topic, which is really a practical steps for you to exactly scale your investment portfolio. And we're going to go step by step and give you some ideas that also maybe you can relate with.
Okay, so number one is, again, you can be at incremental, which is what The book that really changed my life was not like Rich Dad, Poor Dad or anything. That's a great book. But really it was The Richest Man in Babylon, written from like scribes from thousands of years ago, where basically the whole point of the book and the whole point of these ancient cuneiform scribes written in Sanskrit were, I don't even know what language it is, I don't know. But it was written thousands of years ago. And it basically said, take 10% of your income and buy investments. Put it away for investment purposes. And so that's a life lesson that people were talking about thousands of years ago, and it's still very true now. So I would say make sure instead of doing sporadic investments, we are consistently putting investments away every single time. Every time you get $1, 10 cents of it goes towards your investments.
Exactly. The next thing is leveraging equity. For example, in real estate, for real estate investor, basically leveraging equity of existing property that you own can be powerful for you to scale. No, basically you by taking out a mortgage on a property that has increased in value, you can use that money for another type of investment.
Right. Another thing is using investment platforms. There are many ways out there to invest. Maybe whatever. Pay attention to the ones with lower fees. Pay attention to what your asset portfolio is, and pay attention to what the investments are. Don't just trust your money with somebody out there who you might, oh, I heard Chuck was good. Well, maybe Chuck is amazing, and maybe Chuck is only okay at his job. So don't just believe whatever somebody's telling you. Really take ownership. Pay attention to what the fees are, because the fees can be a killer.
And the next thing is collaboration and networking. It might be useful in some scenario. Forming a partnership or investment syndicates or groups can be scaling your basically an investment portfolio.
Right, because then you're pooling larger resources of money in order to get an asset. Exactly. Now, with this, let's talk about scaling. We should always be learning. Number one is, besides The Richest Man in Babylon, which I recommend you read, always learn investment strategies, market trends, the economic environment in which you live. By continuing informing yourself, you are going to make informed decisions. You don't have to be an expert in anything, but you should be always learning something when it comes to this situation.
Exactly. And also in the same book, they talk about financial advisement, mean that you need to work with a professional, a financial advisor, somebody that has the knowledge.
Or you can do it yourself.
And you can do it yourself. You can do that. To niche to your specific situation and design a personalized portfolio that have the scaling strategy for your future.
The next one is going to be completely checking your portfolio regularly. So make sure that it is staying true to what your goals are. So you might have to rebalance something if an asset with assets, maybe something is underperforming. Be willing to cut the underperforming ones to double down on the performing ones. So you have to pay attention to things. Again, investments are risky. It is dynamic. It's an ongoing process, and we have to learn about planning, risk management, your risk comfort, and being adaptable. So you want to add anything?
No, I think everything was comprehensive and definitely is continuous learning.
But I want to put 1 second, 100% continuous learning. But the markets will change. The markets go up and down. But your long-term financial objectives should not change based on, oh, the stock market is crashing, let's jump out a window, which they did in 1929. No, you can weather the storm. So just focus on your long-term goals, not whatever's happening second by second in the market, because you'll go crazy.
Exactly. And don't forget to call us, Alan Victoria Pinder, real estate agent in Greenville, Winterville, for your real estate investment portfolio. We love to help you. And also look at this video. It has a useful information. And see you in the next video.